Yo, it's patch notes for chapter 3. We're just gonna get into it. We got Dan and Jesse giving the patch notes. I'm gonna go over it. So what we do is you'll see the patch notes in the background. I'll talk a little bit about them, what they said. And yeah, chapter notes for chapter 3. Chapter 3 is out tomorrow. Yeah, here we go. So first things they're gonna tell us patch tomorrow is at 10 a.m. Eastern. So that's what time we go live. They're gonna go over a bunch of bug fixes. We're not gonna put bug fixes in these videos. We'll put the Reddit link for all of the chapter notes in the description down below. So store and cosmetics, bunch of new cosmetics. Xbox Game Pass subscribers get the chapter 3 chapter pass for free, which has happened in the past as well. Collection screen and loadout screens now show posed characters, which is kind of cool, kind of correlation there. So chapter 3, the story of chapter 3 is going to be basically the Hololens and the Wardens, which is basically I think from what we have known, it's like automatons and robots and stuff like that. The cool change, which has not been this way before, story quests are no longer gated by week, which before you had to finish them within the week or they were gone. Now all story quests are available immediately, but you still need to complete in order. Kind of weird. Chapter 3, the Warden's chapter pass includes 50 levels with accompanying rewards for each level. The Wardens will ambush players around the map and will attack players if they stray too close to their strongholds. Whatever their strongholds may be, we'll see if they're like some kind of structure or just like an area in the map. Who knows? So part 2, there's 2 new packs in the store. If you don't know, they always add packs, so you can purchase a skin pack with gold. That also comes with the battle pass for the season. So Stoic Crackshot, Adherent of the Elements pack, 25 and 100. You'll get gold and all this and the skins and the stuff. Players can now purchase multiple chapter passes at once when buying levels with gold. Season 2 of Ranked begins. Titles, badges, rewards for performance in season 1 will be granted on login. They don't say anything about BR, so I think it's still just going to be in Dominion. Map changes. A lot of reworks for all around BR and Dominion maps to accommodate the dodge and levitation changes. Well, I guess we'll see what the levitation changes and the dodge to ensure everything is still traversable, which is nice. Which the Great Hall has been added, being so close to the fracture's origin tore it apart, with its pieces suspended in time and space over Banehelm. Interesting. Could be something similar to the concept art that we did in the video 2 videos ago, I think. Partial the entrance to Banehelm with the addition of towering statues. Ooh, zoom that in a little bit. Addition of towering statues and other props. Some mysterious new structures have shown up related to the story of chapter 3. So we'll see a bunch of stuff. Doesn't look like anything crazy has been added, but you know, there it is. They finally added scrolls to practice, so you can actually see like all of the information, how much damage you actually get to deal out some other stuff and test out all of the talents to its full potential. Bots in practice will no longer attack you unless they're attacked first, which is nice. You don't just like, you can walk around and be in peace if you really want to, instead of just like getting run over. When you don't really want to, if you're trying to test like runes and stuff like that. Looks like we got a new, a new tab for called accessibility, which they just said something about like colorblind filters, which is cool. You can select different palettes and stuff like that. UI elements that can be colored. Spellstorm, circle, map color, rarity colors, player and squad mate colors in BR, player and squad mate colors in Dominion. Danger ping color, which is huge. I cannot wait to change that. Also, current players can choose from a number of predefined. I already read that one. Never mind. Don't even mind me. A lot of people are asking about crosshair, and Jesse's response was not crosshair, and then he said yet. So maybe if you want to custom crosshair or different colored crosshair, maybe in the future we'll be getting those. One of the cool usability things is you can add friends in Dominion at the post-match screen, which is something that we've been wanting for a while. Accolades scroll much faster at the post-match screen. Players can now hover over accolades on the post-match screen to get a description of how the accolade was earned and what it means. I'm pumped about that one specifically because we have no idea unless you go to like the Wikipedia or something. In-match scorecard to Dominion that shows points, exiles, times exiled, and damage by player, and update if a player has disconnected. In-match scoreboard, huge. They have locked parties, finally! Players are now only able to join another's party if they have been invited to join. Yes. I've been complaining about it for so long because they just join. I love that. Also, add dialogue volume setting in the settings menu. Boom on the locked party. I'm so excited about locked party. Not that I don't want you guys in my party, but like if I don't want you guys in my party, then like you're not in my party. So they didn't add punishment for leaving quite yet, but they did add a very mean, not mean, but very telling shame on you message to if you try to leave. So shame on you if you try to leave. Stop leaving games. You're not going to be punished yet, but shame. Also, we no longer are locked out of all of our screens when we're trying to queue. So you can pretty much view everything. I think they said you can't buy things in the store and stuff like that, but you can view your entire locker and all of the other stuff if you'd like to. Huge, huge, huge. Especially when you're sitting in queue for 10 minutes. Now we're getting to some spice. We got dodge. We kind of knew we were going to get a dodge, so here we go. I mean, so as far as I can remember, when I started playing this game in pre-alpha, there was a rune called Blink, and people have always wanted like some kind of dodge slash like dash as like base movement. Blink was like a shorter dash built in threes. They're adding a dodge. They're adding a base movement dodge, which people have been asking for forever. So it's more movement. I think it's 1.5 second cooldown. It's whichever direction you aim it in. So it's only lateral. You can't go up or down with it, which I think that's fine. It's a base movement thing. It would be cool if you could go up and down, but something I don't like is that they removed crouch. He says it's not super crucial, except you can hide. You use it to hide to heal all of the time. So unless they made a bunch of structures taller, I love crouching. You guys know that. Not because I like to spam teabags on people, but I just like to crouch. But maybe it'll come back in the future. I really hope so, because taking crouch out of a game is kind of lame. So key thing for the dash, the cooldown, there won't be a visual indicator yet, but there is an auditory, audio. There's a sound that cues when it's ready. So a really weird change. They're changing levitation. Levitation apparently was too vertically just challenging for newer players, I guess. It made everything vertical. There was no trade-offs. I kind of disagree with that, but we'll see how it feels. It's gonna be less, makes level design and build choices more impactful, which could, I mean, I think we gotta remember is like when you take away a levitation type of thing, it makes being in the air more of a choice that you have to make instead of just being a given. They're increasing responsiveness, but nerfing how high you can go and making it slower. So levitation upward movement speed is now fixed and is 40% slower than the previous maximum upward speed. Maximum levitation height has been reduced by 30%. I don't think this is gonna be a bad change. It might feel weird. We just have to test it out, see how it goes. It could feel really bad, but we'll see how it goes. Like I said, it makes it more of a choice to be in the air, and I think that's a good thing. It makes it more of a skilled thing to be up in the air. So as Jesse called it, these are the nitty gritties of levitation. So if you want to pause them, there it is. I'm gonna read them. Levitation now consumes a minimum amount of mana, 35%, even if the jump button is released early. So it looks like you're gonna have less control over how much you can use. Levitation now consumes 55% of mana per second, previously 80% per second. Reduced retained upward momentum when levitation ends, so it looks like it's gonna be more like a jump in that kind of aspect. We'll see. Increase how long it takes for mana to begin regenerating after levitation to 1.5 seconds from 0.8, almost a double. Levitation now provides an instantaneous upward movement no matter the starting velocity, which is kind of nice. You no longer like swoop down and then have to kind of rebuild it with your levitate. With your mana, so makes it more responsive, but because of the first one, it makes it less controlled because you have to spend a certain amount. We'll learn it, we'll figure it out. So they're adding different kind of levitation controls on top of the levitation changes. Apparently these were already on controller on consoles. I didn't know that was the thing that the controller console gang had. Okay, so they've increased gravity a little bit, so you're no longer as floaty. Chapter 1 gravity was 1920. Gravity for this patch will be 1560, which is 160 more from 1400, which is what it was. You're gonna feel heavier for a little bit when you do this because you're not as floaty, and that's gonna affect you everywhere, not just being up in the air, but like when you jump and all this other stuff. Okay, so you can't control. I'm just completely stupid. You can't control where you as fast as you want to like go towards an area as you're dropping. I'm just stupid and can't read. Don't worry about it. Forward movement speed has been increased by +3 in BR. Was already +3 in Dominion. Oh fuck yeah, interesting. Which is if you're curious, that's basically blue boots. So blue boot speed off the rip. Remove forward speed momentum braking when firing spells. So you can just fire spells and go full speed. I love that. Get aggro is what they said. So with the speed change, they adjusted movement acceleration. You start moving a bit slower. I don't know if I like that because it's gonna affect like strafe dodging. You're gonna start slow and then kind of ramp up your speed. That's gonna make you feel like you're in mud, I think. And I don't know if I like this change. We'll see how it feels. 200% air boost acceleration. This allows you to start moving quicker in mid-air. We'll see. A lot of this stuff is going to be about feels, guys, and we'll see how it feels. Don't just judge things on words on a page. Go ahead and play it. They're fixing a lot of jump problems where if you slide down a hill that's a little bit too steep to walk, you actually jump off of it instead of levitate. There's a new optional centered camera has been added that avoids many third-person aiming issues. Like fireballs could come from the left and kind of go over to the right, basically is how it works. Now there's a centered camera, the fireball goes straight every time. Accuracy while aiming at targets that are very close or above. The legacy camera is still available under options. So if you like the third person over the shoulder type of thing, it'll still be there for you. There's a new FOV sliding horizontal thing. A wider FOV has a trade-off of being able to see more of the action while targets appear smaller on screen. Some players, especially on a TV or handheld devices, prefer a smaller FOV that makes it easier to see their targets. So now we're gonna move into gameplay general things. Sorceries no longer charge while respawning from a portal, which will stop a decent amount of the spam. They lowered the height of the minion capture point zones, so it's not nearly as tall of a cylinder. You can't be as tall as it is. I think me and Jesse just did this at the same time. Sorceries that can be used for a class mobility skill now show different VFX for players that are able to use it for movement. So this affects Flame Wall, toxic clouds, and tornado as long as the player has the appropriate movement skill. So that's kind of cool. So you can see if it's a friendly tornado, toxic cloud, or flame wall. So now we're getting into some balancing. The first one is fire and stone. It's interesting that they're doing them together, but increased fireball recovery time by 0.1 seconds. A slight reduction in fire speed to reduce its close range efficiency. So no more spamming by 1.1 second. Reduced dragon fire damage to 40 DPS from 25 DPS. Previous 17 damage per tick, now 13. This is huge. I'm super excited. So for stone, they decrease shockwave velocity by 50 to 51.5 per second from 54. So it is slower. Reduce shockwave width from 0.1 to 0.6, sorry, from 1.4. So it is much skinnier. This is like an actual skill shot, which is huge. We've wanted stone changes like this for a long time. Decrease shockwave damage to 26, 33, 36, 38, 42 from 30, 39, 42, 45, and 50. So it's an 8 damage nerf. With the changes to levitate, stone was very strong in testing, so we're scaled it back. They're nerfing wind spam. Thank God we can all praise to the Tempest gods. Wind spam was becoming a real problem. Yes, it was. So we've just dialed it back in a number of ways. Reduce size of wind shear projectile from 70 to 25. That is huge, huge. The hitbox for the wind shear projectile itself is much smaller. Increased a minimum wind shear damage though to 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 from 3, 3, 3, 4, 5. So that's a little bit interesting, but you actually have to hit your shots, but you're rewarded for the damage. We'll see how that feels. They also reduce the max range. Wind shears will impulse you from 12 to 8. It's a little strange. He said it's not as bad as it sounds. When you're at that max height, you have to drop a little bit down to get back up, basically is what it seems like. Max lifespan of a wind shear reduced to 0.8 from 1.0, so it's not as long. So they're changing lightning, and we've wanted a lightning change for a long time, unless you're conduit main and lightning player, you wanted it nerfed. So we've made some pretty significant changes to lightning bolt to better match expectations and to increase its skill gap. Lightning bolt damage is now 3-4, 3-5, 4-6, 5-7, 6-8. Previously it was 5-7, 6-8, 6-9, 7-10, 8-11. Lightning bolt fire rate increased by 25%. Okay, it's faster. So far it doesn't seem like too bad of a nerf. Lightning bolt maximum bloom increased to 2 degrees from 1 degree. Hopefully this means that the bloom it's so bad that you can't use it anymore. That's my hope. The thing that's cool about it is it does actually increase skill. So lightning bolt now has a repeatable spread pattern that restarts when firing loop begins. So it's not just random ass bloom, it is a pattern. One last thing that I didn't do in the last one was maximum lightning bolt bloom increases by 0.3 degrees per shot. Previously it was 0.1 degrees. So they're fixing a problem that we've actually been talking about a lot in stream recently, was that Tox spray's distance was too short, just by a little bit. So actually max poison spray distance by about 20%. Changed poison spray arc trajectories so that it better aligns with the crosshair. Also reduced spread of poison spray by 10%. Increased vanishing mist ejection speed and distance, which is actually kind of cool. Huge Tox help, which is dope. Tox has been kind of in a really weird spot with Dominion being introduced, so it's gonna act more like a shotgun, and you're gonna have an ejection speed and distance. You're gonna incretion. Is that a word? Did I make that up? So they went straight into projection speeds, which makes me think that they didn't nerf ice at all. I don't know how I feel about that, but I mean, it is what it is. Also, if you want to pause and see the projection speeds, there you go. We're gonna talk about it in 1 second. So projection speeds were increased to account for latency overcompensation bug fix. So this is going to be a buff for the OCE. So you're gonna probably see a lot more GG from OCE in your chats, because you're probably gonna get actually destroyed by a bunch of the OCE people. So in chat today, I said I don't think we're gonna have any rune changes, but it looks like we have a little bit. Lowered spring step height by 20%, and increased spring step lateral velocity by 40%. So it's not as high. The lateral impulse velocity is quicker. So that could be kind of fun, I bet, to pair with dodge. We'll see how that goes. Chronomaster room cooldown was changed from 17, 13, 11, 9, 8, respectively for the thing, to 22, 18, 16, 14, 13. Suck it, Conduit players. If you don't know what Conduit is, it's Chrono and Conduit. Jesse just said one more thing. So that looks like all of the balancing and movement stuff. So now we pretty much know what's going to be in Chapter 3 when it comes to play. Players can now save their cosmetics per class. So if you want a Pyro skin set, if you want a Toxic skin set, any of the classes, skin set, cosmetic set, card set, whatever, you can do so and save them individually. Each class now has a separate saved loadout for talents and cosmetics. The cosmetics tab has been split into separate collections submenu and loadout submenu. I think the talents one was already like that, but the collection submenu will show all cosmetics without assigning them to a class or you can use the equip to all button. So there's an equip to all button to all the classes if you just want one specific thing, like Tim Burkin. So there's a lot of gameplay changes and balance changes, but we knew there was not going to be a gauntlet. We knew there wasn't going to be a rune. This was about fixing the game. So give it a try. Jump in there and let me know how you feel. We'll be live tomorrow for 12 hours, 10 to 10. I hope to see you there. Guys, I love you. Love yourself. And have a great day. Peace.